What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. These are my final thoughts for UFC Vegas 43. And yeah, maybe not the best main event in the world, but I feel like this card is going to deliver lots of great fights mixed in throughout the card. Again, the main event's not amazing, but I think we could find some good spots on it. And unlike last week I had just like a few bets. This week I have like 16 bets. So going very hard on this card. It definitely is a little bit of a sketchy card, but I found a ton of spots that I do like. Looking to bounce back after last week after Moises dropped the ball. But yeah, looking forward to this card a lot. Like 16 bets. Got them all in by Tuesday. So I'm ready to roll. Beat a lot of linemen this week. And now we make some money. So I'll say what is up to the chat. As always, uncertainty. First one in here as always. Appreciate that uncertainty. Hype. Let's go, Brady. Let's go, hype. Raw Torque saying there are three certainties in life: death, taxes, and Brady bringing the heat. Hopefully, I do bring some heat this week. Thomas saying more violence, just like last week. Yeah, I do have a fair share of violence bets myself. Sean in the chat. What is up, Sean? How you doing? Last card before a break. Let's make some money. Yeah, we do have a 1 week break next week, and then we have 3 cards in a row, I believe, and then we have like a 1 month break, which I have no clue what I'm going to do. It's going to suck. But I'm going to take that time to finish my website, and then I'll have all of it out by January, which would be pretty cool there. Sean, thanks. Say what you want about this card, but we finally see a card with no changes since Monday. Yeah, weird. I mean, everybody weighed in, everybody made wheat. Pretty cool. Tony in the chat, what's up, Brady? Let's get it and cash some tickets some more. I agree. Tristan saying, cool show, guys. Thanks for the time. Thank you, Tristan, for hanging out. Kung Do Chicken saying, yeah, hopefully nobody craps to bed this week. I hope so. Yeah, especially Giannis Santos. I feel like a lot of people are on that parlay. Bill in the chat, bring us the money. Big brain Brady. Shout out to Bill. Lewis saying, in 20 max GPP, who is your highest owned fighter? So I've not built lineups yet. I'm a little behind this week. But I feel like it might be Terrence McKenzie. I have not made lineups yet, though. But yeah, I feel like it might be Terrence McKenzie there. Dylan saying, I smell some good underdogs. Yeah, I think I'm like picking like 6 or 7 dogs. It's crazy this week. Adam saying it smells like an underdog weekend to me as well. Miguel saying, hello, Brady. Hello, Miguel. Philip saying, what's up, fellas? What is up, Philip? Luke saying, appreciate the knowledge. I appreciate you, Luke, for hanging out. And Adam saying 1 month break. Yeah, it's literally like a 1 month break, which is it's going to suck. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like one week is a big enough break for me. So Bonder versus Gordon was canceled too. Vasa versus Akai was supposed to be on this card. Praknio, Murazov was supposed to be on this card as well. Yeah, there's supposed to be a lot of other fights on this card as well. Was really looking forward to the 3 that were canceled. But as always, going to shout out the sponsor, Pub Sports Radio. I was just on there with Billy and Sharpie doing some NFL. Sharpie's actually a really sharp guy. Giving out some bets there. Me and Billy covered the DFS aspect of things. I'm on there Sundays with Uncle Weezy. I'm on there Tuesdays with AJ and Luke and Weezy doing DraftKings. So make sure you guys head over to Pub Sports Radio. They'll be live tomorrow. Live betting, live commentary, all the good stuff. So lots to talk about. Lots of bets. Like 16 bets. I say we get into it. Starting with the first fight of the night. So yeah, on the sheet, the bout order is a lot different. So my first fight of the night is Loopy Godinez. I think the first actual fight of the night is Panera Sam Hughes, but we'll talk about this Loopy fight first. So we have Loopy Godinez going against Loma Luke Bunmi, and yeah, I have a lot of strong thoughts on this fight, and I do have a bet on this fight as well. I took a 1-unit shot on Loopy Godinez. I got her at minus 150, and yeah, I think people are really low on Loopy Godinez after her last performance, but what we got to remember was, she was coming up a weight class on a couple days' notice against a huge fighter for the division in Luana Carolina. I mean, I know on paper it says Carolina's like 5'6". She looks a lot bigger than 5'6". I mean, Loopy Godinez weighed in at that fight at 121 pounds. And I was like one of the only people that were picking against Loopy Godinez. I actually picked Carolina to win. And I think we should cut her some slack for that fight. She went out there with a game plan of getting down Carolina, and she actually got her down 2 times, which is impressive because Carolina has nearly a 90% takedown defense, and Loopy controlled Carolina for over half that fight, 7 minutes and 37 seconds. If she goes out there against Loma Luke Bunmi with the same game plan, attempting 15 takedowns, I feel like it is such a winnable fight for Loopy. I mean, you take a look at Loma. She's a very good striker. Loma is somebody that I've been very high on. I've been really hyping her up each and every single fight, but we see that she got taken down against Alexander Albu. She was taken down against Angela Hill. She was taken down against Jin Yu Fry. And then she was, getting controlled against the cage by Sam Hughes, who's actually the biggest dog on the slate. Sam Hughes controlled Loma for 6 minutes and 34 seconds. Sam Hughes took a round off of all three judges' scorecards. Sam Hughes against Loma. If Sam Hughes is taking a round off of Sam Hughes is controlling you for that long, why can't Loopy? Like on the feet, I think, Loma is going to have a striking advantage. But I think Loopy, if she does implement the same game plan against Carolina, a much bigger Carolina with a 90% takedown defense, 16 takedowns attempted, I feel like she can get Loopy down. I feel like she can get Loma down. There's this prop out there. DraftKings Sportsbook put out Loopy Godinez by submission. Shout out to everybody that got on that. They had it at plus 850. I went to bet it and it was gone. It was like plus 550. But yeah, I think if you guys got on that early, shout out to you. My goodness. We have seen Loma submitted before. Went back and watched that fight. It was back in 2018. She got taken down. She got a reversal, got caught in an armbar. And that was against a 1-1 fighter. So yeah, I feel like Loopy's live here for a sub. I feel like she's live to get multiple takedowns. I really question Loma's ground game. I think her takedown defense is good. But, fighters like Angela Hill are taking her down. Alexander Albu, Jinyu Fry. I feel like it's a really good spot for Lupe. But we do see that this line movement's kind of tricky because I thought a lot more money would come in on Loma. It looked like Loma was like a really popular play, and she is. But the line actually got wider as the week went on, which was weird to me. She's now minus 170. I got her at minus 150. But I think I'm going to be fine with just one unit here. I don't hate the sub prop, but I would have liked it a lot better at like plus 850 on DraftKings. So shout out to everybody that got on that. That line is just ridiculous. As far as DK goes, Loma is my fade of the week. I think if she does win, she's going to be getting controlled a lot of the fight. She's not going to get a finish. I think she has one finish on her record. I don't mind some Loopy 8,800, but this is a fight I'm not too interested in from a DraftKings perspective. But I will pick Loopy, and I'll pick her with some confidence here. I do like Loopy quite a bit. I think she bounces back here. See what we got in the chat. Jack Attack saying, oi, oi. Shout out to Uncle Weezy, always saying oi. I love that. Mr. Showtime saying, I think Grant is going to pull off the upset. Yeah, he could. We'll talk about that fight. Grant did look bigger than Yana's at face-off. Yes, he did. Buffalo saying, smash that like button. I agree. Let's smash it up. I didn't like Loopy's takedown attempts. She kept trying for the body lock. Loma is way stronger in the clinch. I don't know. We'll have to see. I think it's going to be a lot easier taking down Loma than taking down a huge Carolina, who's actually very underrated. Did you see the footage from Jemiah from Manson? I did. I watched a little bit of it. Very interesting stuff there. What are your odds of Loopy burning out? She could. She definitely could. Maybe the third round's a little sketchy there. I figured Loopy would be a minus 200 favorite. I didn't think she would be. I think that's what she should be, but I thought that it would be lined a little bit closer, especially considering like a lot of people are on Loma. Leaning Loma, but Brady is scaring me. A lot of people are with you there, Jack. I feel like, I don't want to say I'm like on an island, but I just see a lot of people on Loma, especially taking a look at the Bet MMA tips page. You can kind of see who everybody's betting, and Loma seems to be one of the dogs of the week. There are two dogs of the week. Loma is one of them. I don't think Loopy's wrestling is that good. Yeah, I don't think it's that good against a big Carolina, but it's actually pretty solid. Loopy's definitely more active. I agree. If Angela Hill can finish Loma, can Godinez submit her? I think Loopy could submit her, but we take a look at it, and Angela Hill actually did not finish Loma, but she did win by decision there. It was actually kind of a close fight. Oh, you're saying can't. Yeah, there you go. I low-key have Loma by decision. Yeah, if you do like Loma by decision plus 160, that's not terrible, but you're not getting much. You might as well just better straight at that point. Loopy is a Mexican boxer, not a wrestler grappler. She'll need to use wrestling here for sure. Yes, she will. I do agree she's more of a boxer, but she does have some wrestling. Yep, I do agree Loma has improved her takedown defense. Jack Attack and Sosa always going at it. Sense saying, sup, Brady, best of luck this weekend. You as well, 2 cents. Loopy had dreams to wrestle in the Olympics. Her sisters are pursuing that are damn good. Yeah, I saw her sisters are very, very good wrestlers. Uncle Weezy, I'm late. Let's stack cash tickets like flapjacks, everyone. What's up, everybody? Shout out to Uncle Weezy. Weezy for president, I agree. You guys are killing it in the chat. Shout out to you all. That MGM has Giannis Grant fight doesn't go decision at plus 225. Yeah, I mean, yeah, get on it. Get on that. Loopy has a wrestling background. Yeah, her wrestling is good. Her wrestling definitely is good. Loopy almost subbed Carolina. She almost did, and I was terrified because I had the over 2.5. In honor of Brady, I'm going with Brady. There you go. I see a size advantage for Loopy. I took her via sub. Yeah, I mean, the sub prop's tempting, man. I mean, I wish I would have got on the plus 850. I went to bet it, and it was gone. Dang it. But yeah, plus 850 for Loopy by sub was crazy. But I think we can move on to the next fight. We have Luana Panera going against Sam Hughes. I do have a bet here as well. I actually have a bet on every single fight outside of the Natan Levy, Rafa Garcia fight. And the bet I have here is going to be the fight doesn't go to decision. I have half a unit on it at plus 100. The reason being is we take a look at Panero. She has not been out of the first round in like her last 7 or 8 fights. It's been a while. And the footage that we did see of Panero outside of the first round, she looked horrible. She slowed down a ton, and rightfully so. I mean, she puts a lot of energy into that first round, multiple takedowns, lots of strikes. We saw in the Marcos fight, 5 takedowns in the first round. If she cannot keep at that pace, I mean, she could be in some serious trouble. I looked at the line earlier in the week, and I was like, what the heck's going on? And she was like minus 325 at the time. And she's actually a minus 410 now, which is crazy because if she does not win in the first round, what is this fight going to look like? So I recommend not really parlaying Luana Panera at this price tag, but I will say that she's going to finish Sam Hughes in the first round. Sam Hughes has been finished in 2 over 3 losses, but I think the fight doesn't go to decision. Kind of covers both sides there. We see that Panero 78% finish rate. Again, like her last 7 or 8 fights have all ended in round 1. Sam Hughes, a finisher in her own right, 80%. I believe both fighters have combined for only like 2 decision wins. And then on top of that, Sam Hughes has been finished in 2 over 3 losses. So yeah, I like the fight doesn't go. As far as DK goes, I think Panera is a very intriguing option. I know she's the most expensive fighter, but she's going to go out there, get a ton of takedowns. I think stylistically, this is a phenomenal matchup for her. And I do get why she's a big favorite, but after the first round, that's when I start to have some concerns. So I don't mind sprinkling some Hughes just in case she's able to survive that first round. But I think Panera runs through her here. So yeah, give me the fight doesn't go to decision though. Plus 100. I like that quite a bit. Yeah, a lot of people are on that Sam round 3. I know Uncle Weezy's on that Sam Hughes round 3 at like a crazy price tag. Sosa saying Sam round 3 sub plus 4,800. Yeah, that's nuts. But hey, it could definitely happen. Sosa's taking Sam Hughes. I like Sam as the underdog. Hey, I can't, I don't hate it because if she does survive the first round, what is the fight going to look like? What is the fight going to look like? Maybe a live betting situation as well. What do you think of the people trying to fade Panera and Santos tomorrow? I mean, I get both arguments. I mean, Panera, she's unproven after that first round. Santos, it's a big step up in competition somewhat. And Joanne Calderwood has fought the much better competition. But I do think Panera and Santos both do win. Hughes is a tough girl. She survives the first. Yeah, for sure. I'll be keeping an eye on that live line. Hughes looked bigger than Panera at faceoffs, which was surprising as she did. Luana's biggest weakness is her questionable cardio. I agree. Hughes' biggest weakness is that she's bad at fighting. Hey, I agree. I definitely agree. If Brady says he's a Tom Brady fan, then I know who to pick between Chiesa and Brady. You actually do like Tom Brady quite a bit. I like both guys. I like both Bradys there. Sam shouldn't be in the UFC. I agree. People saying Marcos was pushing that pace to not Panera. I think they both kind of were. Marcos was getting work. Yeah, for the most part. I feel like Panero's cardio is okay. She has a pacing problem. Yeah, could be. But yeah, from what I've seen out of the first round, it was not good. Michael, the co-host, Chiesa, what more do you need to know? I've got Panera, never been impressed with Sam Hughes, but Luana is no world beater. Yeah, that's true. I like the Hughes live after round 1. Look, that's how I'm probably going to attack it there. Uncle Weezy saying, I got the Hughes round 3 plus 3,500, and then 2 units on the fight doesn't go plus 100. I just need violence here. I'm with you there. I need violence as well. I do like that fight doesn't go, especially at plus money. Panera was winning big against Marcos, not even close. Yeah, I don't think it was close. Is this the layout for the cart? No, I have to change it around a little bit. It changed a lot throughout the week when I did this sheet. So no, it's not. I think Panera Hughes is the first fight of the night. But we'll keep moving on. Pat Sabatini going against Tucker Lutz. So there are 2 dogs of the week this week. Loma Lukbunmi and Tucker Lutz. I mean, everybody is on the Tucker Lutz train here as a dog for the most part. And I get why. It's a very close fight. I did pull the trigger myself earlier on Monday. I got Tucker Lutz plus 136. and I have 1 unit on it. So I did beat some line movement here. But yeah, this is a very close fight. Obviously, you have Pat Sabatini, who's going to have a significant advantage on the mat. This guy's a wizard on the mat. The question I have is he going to be able to get it there? You take a look at Pat Sabatini, he has a high school wrestling background, a college wrestling background, but thus far in the UFC, I don't think it's translated a lot. I think he's like 1 for 6, 1 for 7 on takedowns, a 16% takedown accuracy. And Tucker Lutz has a wrestling background in his own right, a very good takedown defense, a very good get-up game. If he's not able to get down Tucker Lutz and hold him down, what is this fight going to look like? I just have not been impressed with what I've saw with Sabatini on the feet. He just looks very, very uncomfortable on the feet. We saw what happened in his last fight against Jamal Emmers, where Emmers hurt him very bad, like in the first minute. And Emmers, himself having no fight IQ, went down to the mat with Pat Sabatini. And once that happened, I was like, yep, he's getting submitted. So as long as, Tucker Lutz comes in here with the game plan of, hey, I'm not going to go down to the ground with this guy. I'm going to keep it upright. I'm going to outstrike him. I'm going to use my volume, and I'm going to outpoint him for 3 rounds. I think Tucker Lutz is in a very, very good spot here. But yeah, I just have not been all that impressed with Pat Sabatini in terms of his striking, in terms of his wrestling. His grappling is phenomenal. But yeah, he looked very uncomfortable in the 3rd round against Tristan Connolly. He looked very uncomfortable on the feet with Jamal Emmers. But where his bread and butter is the ground game. So yeah, if Pat Sabatini gets down Tucker Lutz, it could be trouble. But if Lutz does use that takedown defense, I think it's a very, very winnable fight. So we do see a lot of money's come in on Tucker Lutz since earlier in the week. He is now plus 100. Did not really expect the line to move this much, but hey, beat some line movement here. We'll see what happens. But I'm going to take Tucker Lutz for the win. I'm going to take Tucker Lutz to win by decision. I think, both guys are intriguing on DK. Obviously, you're getting a ton of line value with Tucker Lutz, 7,500. And then Sabatini, this guy's a finisher. This guy's dangerous. If he gets it down to the mat, a first-round submission could be likely. But yeah, both sides here for DraftKings. But as far as the bet, I took Tucker Lutz at plus 136. Don't hate that shot there. Yeah, I can't bet on Lutz. Yeah, I would it now at plus 100. But yeah, plus 136, I'll take that all day. Lutz will lose. He could. That's too good. Yeah, he's phenomenal. But I think Tucker Lutz is great as well. If Tucker Lutz, this fight to the mat, I like Pat. Yeah, I feel like Lutz could mix in takedowns late in the round, but you got to think he'd be smart enough not to go for takedowns early on. I think it's going to be a good fight. Pat's going to get it to the mat. If he does, he could very well win. Lutz is a fight smarter. He won't pull an Emmers. Yeah, he's definitely smarter than Emmers. Lutz could finish Sabatini. I don't know if he finishes him, but maybe he hurts him. Lutz is very well rounded. Yeah, great ground game, great wrestling, great striking, very well rounded. But Sabatini is dangerous. Got to take the sprinkle on Sabatini by submission. If I was on Sabatini, that's probably how I would play it. Sabatini by sub plus 350. That's not terrible. That's probably how I would look at it. I think that's how he wins. Let's see what else we got. Tucker Lutz going to put it on for Maryland MMA. Lutz by KO. Yeah, it would be nice to see him get a KO there. Emmers is better than Lutz striking. I do agree with that, but I don't think really any correlation to that. But yeah, I agree. Lutz wins by decision plus 210. Don't hate it. Since his bias, though, yeah, I have no bias in this fight. Actually, if I had any bias, it would be on Pat Sabatini. I love that guy. I think you're overrating Lutz's takedown defense. Gets much easier after round 1-2. And his takedown defense looked really good to me. I've seen him get taken down 2 times on the Contender Series, but he was able to pop right back up. Lutz is about to find out. He very well could. Tate is easy money. Let's go. Maybe. Lutz seems fighter than most fighters in the UFC. Oh, smarter. Yeah, smart guy. And I agree with Gaming Wolf. Nothing is easy in this sport. I 100% agree. Emmers was considered a legit prospect, and Sabatini got him out there despite early adversity. Yeah, very impressive performance there. But yeah, I'm going to take the dog shot on Tucker Lutz. I beat some line movement, but as we know, beating line movement does not mean crap. Got to win the bet as well. All right. Next, we have a very interesting fight. Before I go into this fight, I'm going to say smash the like button, guys. Really do appreciate you all hanging out on a Friday. And also hit the subscribe button as well. Getting really close to 13K subs. Would be cool to hit that before the break. All right. Uncle Weezy, Lutz's teammate Jesse Stern already fought Sabatini, so Lutz will have some intel on him. I'm going with Pat, but not betting it. Yeah, and I think another interesting thing to note was I bet this fight earlier in the week, and I thought that Lutz was taking this fight on short notice, But I came to find that Lutz actually was scheduled to fight last week, so he's actually going to be in good shape. So don't hate that. All right, so we'll move on. Sean Soriano going against Charly on Durden Beke, and I kind of have a hot take here. So I'm probably like one of the very few people out there actually picking Charly on outright. And when I make predictions, I don't like pick based off of value. I like to pick off of, straight outright winners. And I'm actually picking Charly on Durden Beke as a dog. And I actually pulled the trigger on him. I have half a unit on Charly on here, and I got him at plus 245. 245. That line has came down since then. Looks like there's some buyback on Charly on here, and rightfully so, because Sean Soriano should not be a minus 300 favorite against anybody. So the reason why I went only a half unit on this play was Charly on, he's not good. He's not good at all. But Sean Soriano has a gaping hole in his game, and that gaping hole is his takedown defense. That gaping hole is his submission defense, and he's 0-4 in the UFC. In all 4 of those fights, he's either been submitted or taken down and controlled. And what does Charly on do? This guy's a wrestler, a decent wrestler, and supposedly he's a black belt in BJJ. I don't know how legit that black belt is, but it's something to definitely mention here. So we're getting somebody in Charly on who again's not good. This guy's not good, but he has a path to victory and a gaping one. Like if he comes out here, goes for takedowns, gets it into deep waters. We've seen Sean Soriano slow down massively, and we've seen him submitted 5 times. Like not only in the UFC, he's been submitted 3 times in the UFC, but even like outside of the UFC, this guy's getting submitted. And again, what does Charly on do? So yeah, I pulled the trigger half a unit. Charly on plus 245. He's now plus 215. The path to victory is there. He's not great, but if he fights smart, he very well could win this fight as a big dog. And I also took 1 unit on the under 2.5 rounds plus 110. I think if Sean Soriano wins, it's a first round knockout. This guy's very dangerous. I think if Sean Leon wins, it very well could be a submission. 5 submission losses for Sean Soriano, but I think the under 2.5, the fight doesn't go to decision, is very solid, especially at minus 125 for the fight doesn't go. The under 2.5 rounds is near plus money. I do like those a lot. We see that Sean Leon's been finished in 5 of his 7 losses. Sean Soriano has been finished in 5 of his 6 losses. If Soriano wins, it's going to be by KO. If Sean Leon wins, it's going to be by sub. So yeah, there you go. But yeah, taking a big shot here. Not expecting much, but man, if he comes in here and fights smart, like this is a winnable fight. So we'll see what happens there. That would probably be my biggest dog hit in a while, or maybe ever, plus 245. So we'll see what happens there. As far as DK goes, Sean Soriano 9K, yeah, I think is a play I do like. If he wins, probably first round KO. And Charly on 7,200, I think is a sneaky play. I put in my DK article, he is my low-owned dart throw because he has a path to victory. So we'll see what happens. Could he get starched in the first round? Absolutely. But could he submit Soriano? He could. So yeah, taking the shot there. Let's see what we got in the chat here. Any updates on, I think I'm in Brady's foot. Yeah, Brady said like he almost lost his foot apparently, but looks like everything's good on his end there. Brady don't pick against Chinese fighters. I think I have. I picked against Chinese fighters. Nah, Brady, you're not alone there. Sean Leon is a bad stylistic matchup for Sean, no matter which way you slice it. And I agree. The only problem is he's not good. So we'll see. That's why he's a big dog. He's just not good. Who the hell is boosting Soriano to minus 300? I have no clue. So it's saying I'll take the fight as a good decision. I think that's the smartest way to play it. Minus 300 is a joke. Yeah, I agree. I had to bet that. 2 cents saying I got Sean Leon as well. Almost switched to Soriano, but Shaw has good grappling. That's Sean's weakness. Yeah, I mean it's all adding up. Black belt and BJJ from China. Yeah, that's pretty much worthless, and I agree with that. If he can't get takedowns, he probably gets brutalized. But Soriano has a history of being taken down. Absolutely. Soriano is a killer be killed fighter. The under 2.5 rounds looks great too. Yeah, I love that spot. Uncle Weezy saying I need violence for this fight. I have 2.2 units on the fight. Doesn't go minus 110. I like that. 11 of the 14 combined losses for these two have finished inside the distance. Feels like a good bet. I'm with you there. I'm on the under 2.5 at plus money. Yep, Sean saying if Soriano wins, it's definitely a KO. I agree. I think if Sean Soriano wins, it's probably a first-round knockout. Shalion got his black belt from Rickson Lee. I probably got it from McDonald's, to be honest. Because when I read he had a black belt, I was like, what? But hey, he has it. Chinese fighters do not have a good track record this year in the UFC. Absolutely. Absolutely don't. Who has the better cardio? Both guys I've seen slow down in the past, but yeah, Soriano is notoriously known for like slowing down. So we'll have to see. But yeah, cardios on both sides are iffy. Low-key banger fights on this card. I agree. I think people are definitely sleeping on this card. I mean, the main event's like, I'm not too excited about the main event, but yeah, other fights are pretty good. 124 watching, hit the like button, peeps. Yep, now we have 138 in here. If y'all can smash the like button, that'd be much, much appreciated. Let us keep moving on. And again, the bout order is like all messed up on this one, so bear with me here. But we have Kung Ho Kong going against Ronnie Yaya. We have Kong is minus 120, Ronnie Yaya is plus 100. And I do have a bet on this fight as well. I have the over 2.5 rounds, minus 146, 1.5 units on that. And the reason being is you take a look at both these guys when they're winning by submission. I think if this finishes early, I think it's probably a Ronnie Yaya early submission. But Kung Ho Kong has very good takedown defense. He's going to be the much younger fighter. He's going to have the better cardio as well. I feel like if Kung Ho Kong comes in here with the game plan of keeping this on the feet, I feel like it's a very winnable fight for him. But yeah, over 2.5 rounds, minus 146, 1.5 units. Kung Ho Kong has been submitted before. Last time he got subbed, though, was in 2011. I guess, yeah, the early Ronnie Yaya submission would be the one thing I'd worry about. If Kung Ho Kong finishes, I think it would have to be a KO. I mean, he's not going to submit Ronnie Yaya, but from what I can remember, I don't think Kong has like one. Maybe he has one like knockout in the UFC, but he's more of a submission guy in his own right. I do not see him submitting Ronnie Yaya. Maybe like in the third round if Ronnie Yaya is completely gassed, but I see this going to decision. We'll take a look at their knockout rates. Ronnie Yaya, no knockouts in the UFC. Kung Ho Kong, only I think like 2 knockouts, a 12% knockout rate there for Kung Ho Kong. And Ronnie Yaya has been knocked out twice. He's been submitted once. But the last time that Ronnie Yaya got knocked out, I think it was like in 2009. So yeah, either way, I see it going the distance. I see it being very close. The line's close for a good reason. I'm going to pick Kung Ho Kong, but ultimately, I like the over 2.5 rounds. Outside of a Ronnie Yaya early finish, I think this does hit. And then it could also get sketchy late in the third round. But again, we take a look at Kung Ho Kong, and he's not knocking anybody out. And I would be shocked. I would be shocked if he submitted Ronnie Yaya. But anything can happen. We saw Rodolfo Vieira get submitted. So it's on the table, but I just would be shocked if that happened. I just want to go and look at Kung Ho Kong, see if he does have any knockouts in the UFC, and the answer is no. A submission over Ishihara, submission over Guido Canetti. He always gets subbed, and one other submission. So yeah, no knockouts on the Kong side. So yep, I think the over 2.5 is the way to go. As far as picking a winner, I'm going Kong, but with not much confidence there. What a weird fight. Yeah, weird fight, and a fight that, to be honest, I don't really care much about. Shy has a better arm triangle than Giagos, who couldn't even sub that Alaska FC bum. There you go. Yeah, I think a submission could happen, man. I'm rooting for it. I'm on Kong. What? Kong survived the Squid Games. He can definitely beat Ronnie. If you survive the Squid Games, you can for sure. I can't back Yaya, especially at 36 years old. This fight will be decided in the third. I think Kong will have the advantage in the third, personally. Is Lutz injured? I need to see him bouncing around before the fight starts. Something seemed off the weigh-ins. Not anything I noticed. I mean, what did you see in terms of him might being injured? But yeah, nothing I caught. I was on Kong last time this fight was scheduled. I believe I was as well. Yaya sub or Kong decision. These two are realistic outcomes depending on who you like more. I'm on the Kong decision side more myself. Jack saying stuck on this one. Honestly, that's a tough fight to call. Kong looks like an Asian Max Holloway. Does he? I mean, maybe a little bit. I can see it, I guess. Kong is a grappler. Ronnie is a better grappler. Yanni by sub. You could look at it that way. If Kong does, go to the grappling with Ronnie Yaya, he could be in some trouble. But we will keep moving on. We have Natan Levy going against Rafa Garcia. A fight I don't want to talk about too much because this is the only fight I do not have a bet on. I thought initially it'd be a nice buy low spot on Rafa Garcia. He screwed a lot of people last time, including me, against Chris Grutzmacher. So I thought a lot of people would be low on him, and I think they are. But I went and taped Natan Levy, and I was like, oh, this guy's pretty good. This guy's well-rounded. You know, the striking's solid, the wrestling's solid, the grappling's solid, the cardio's solid. This guy's just a very solid, well-rounded fighter. So I ultimately said, hey, I'm going to pass on this one. Minus 110 each way. The pick's going to be Levy, actually, but I'm just not going to put money on it. I mean, I feel like it could be a good buy low spot on Garcia, but I don't know if I want to fade him with Natan Levy here. Or fade Natan Levy here, who, again, he looks pretty solid to me. Like, there's not even any props I'd look at. Even like the over-unders, I have no clue what's going to happen. I think I'm just going to sit back and watch this fight. On DraftKings, even don't have much interest in this one. I think Rafa Garcia on DK is interesting because there's a lot of line value on there, but there are dogs I like more. So, yeah, fight I'm not too interested in. As far as a pick, I'll go Natan Levy, but to be honest, I don't have much confidence in that one. It's probably my second toughest call to pick there, or toughest fight to pick. Can't trust Rafa until he actually gets a win. Yep, I mean, that he dropped the ball last time. He definitely dropped the ball last time. Everyone is on Zion against McKenzie. Surprised to see Brady being on McKenzie. Yeah, I'm on McKenzie here. No bet on the money line, though, but I'm playing it a different way. Tucker is going to finish Sabatini. I'm leaning more decision, but hey, I'll take a finish as well. I'll take anything I can get there. Garcia dumped his entire cardio round 1 versus Grutzmacher. Yeah, and we take a look at Levy. He has pretty good cardio. A lot better than I thought it would be. Jack saying I'm on Levy. I think they're trying to line him up for a dub against an underperformer. Could be what's happening, but yeah, I just don't have a ton of confidence in it. But as far as a pick, though, I will go with Levy. Sean saying this is a Rafa spot when everyone is skeptical on him. That's what I thought too. But Levy's he looks decent to me. So I'm going to pass here. We'll see what happens, though. We will keep moving on to probably the people's main event, or at least one of them. There's a lot of great fights on this card. But we have Faraz Zion going against Terrence McKenzie. I do have a bet here, and I bet you all can guess what that is. Of course, I'm going violence. Under 2.5 rounds. Sniped a minus 135. 1.5 units on it. It is now like minus 185, which is still, in my opinion, very solid. I mean, Terrence McKenzie is a kill or be killed fighter. This is a guy that's seen the third round once. This guy's never been over the 2.5 round mark. He only has one win outside of the first round. I feel like McKenzie, if he does win, it's going to be in that first round. But if he does not win, I think he gets finished in his own right. He does slow down a little bit as the fight goes on. We saw in the Sean Woodson fight, he did look a little fatigued in that second round, ended up getting knocked out against Sean Woodson. And Zion, he's not been a finisher yet in the UFC, but this guy still has a 75% finish rate. Zion's also been submitted 2 times. And again, McKenzie's lost inside the distance in all of his losses. So instead of betting aside here, which the pick's McKenzie, I'm just going to take the fight doesn't go, or the under 2.5 rounds. Covers both sides here. McKenzie early, Zion late. But yeah, should be a very, very fun and exciting fight for as long as it lasts. This is going to be my highest exposed fight on DK as well. But yeah, under 2.5 rounds, solid. Minus 185 is out there. That's really solid. Fight doesn't go minus 240. Could be a decent parlay piece. But yeah, give me violence here. And this is the fight that is most likely to end inside the distance. And I think it does. So give me McKenzie as far as a pick goes, but 1.5 units on the under 2.5. Really do like that spot. Sean saying this is not hitting the cards. Yeah, I mean, it'd be the first time that McKenzie sold a decision. So we'll see what happens. Smash the like. I agree. Inside the distance is a good bet. I agree. Money coming in on the over. I don't get it. It's probably because Zion has been to decision in all of his losses, but he's never fought McKenzie. McKenzie, again, is a killer be killed fighter. And I'm comfortable with saying he's a killer be killed fighter because he actually admitted that on Twitter. He was like something like he's a killer be killed fighter. So I love hearing that from a violence perspective. Yep, I agree. I thought Malarkey won. McKenzie hurt his leg after celebrating after his last fight, didn't he? Yes, he did. I think Zion takes 1-2 later rounds and pieces Terrence up, though I do think he'll be getting trolled a little. Yeah, I think early on, McKenzie's going to have a lot of success in terms of the wrestling. I was sketchy about picking Garcia, but liked it more after taping. Ooh. McKenzie needs to do what he did against Woodson and shoot for takedowns. I agree. Minus 250 currently on bet 365. Talking about the fight doesn't go to decision. A Brady respect. Shout out to Chris there. Good luck, everyone. I do like a T-Rex. If I do have to pick a side, yeah, I'm with you there, T-Rex. Pete the Heat from Osmo even said he sees no way this doesn't make the optimal lineup, and I agree with that. It's gonna be my highest exposed fight. I have not made lineups yet, but when I do, it's probably my highest exposed there. Vendermini round 3 is how McKenzie fights all the time. Exactly. Violence. 2 cents saying T-Rex first round KO. Yep, I think I'm predicting a first round submission actually, but yeah, I could see a KO for sure. McKenzie by KO is plus 200 on FanDuel. But yeah, it's a great fight. It's definitely a great fight. Dogs are barking. I'm not talking about Wheezies. Yeah, I think the dogs gonna be barking. This card is tough from a picks perspective. I see people all over the place. I'm picking like 6 dogs. It's crazy. But we'll keep moving on though. We have Cody Durden going against Iori Kuling. Durden, he is minus 160. Iori, he is plus 140, and I am very, very tempted on the dog. I spent way too much time on this fight. I literally went through and I taped this fight for like 2 hours. I went through, watched every single Durden fight. I went through, watched every single Iori fight, and I think I'm just going to pass here. The reason being is Durden's striking is a lot better than I thought it would be, and we do see that Iori has been submitted 3 times. I feel like Durden, I guess what I'm worried about is Durden early on. So I think I'm going to approach this from maybe a live betting standpoint because Durden, he's somebody that is, kind of a killer be killed fighter in his own right. He's been to decision 1 time. He has a 90% finish rate. He's been finished in 2 of his 3 losses. Iori, he's very dangerous. We saw in the Molina fight, he hurt Molina bad at the end of that fight. Molina was like wobbling back to his corner after that fight. He hits hard. He's been submitted 3 times though. Like that kind of scares me, especially considering Durden's going to come out here and he's going to grapple. So I think I'm going to pass here in terms of betting aside. But what I did like is the fight doesn't go to decision. Plus 150. I have half a unit on it. That is now like plus 140. And the reason being, I think Cody Durden is going to come out here, look for that early finish like he always does. If he does not finish Iori early, we have seen Durden slow down as the fight goes on, and Iori does not slow down. We saw in the Molina fight, he slowed down a little bit. That's because it was such a crazy high-paced fight that anybody would slow down. But even then, like he was still there. He was still throwing a ton of punches, and again, he hurt Molina late in the fight. But yeah, Durden does slow down as the fight goes on, especially since he's going to be implementing a wrestling-heavy game plan. So yeah, I think Durden early, Iori late. I think the fight doesn't go, covers both sides. But yeah, I'm very tempted on Iori. This line really doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I think Durden's path to victory is an early finish, but if he does not get that, what is the fight going to look like in that second or third round? But I'm gonna just attack it from a live betting standpoint. I think maybe get a better line on Iori in that second round. But I think the fight doesn't go to decision. Kind of covers both sides there. Iori's been finished in 3 of his 8 losses, and Durden finished in 2 of his 3. I think the Durden subs on the table. Durden by sub is plus 550. If you like Durden, I don't think that's terrible because I definitely don't see him knocking out Iori. So yeah, if Durden wins plus 550 by sub, that actually is kind of intriguing. Although I am picking Iori, but I'll take Iori for the win here. But fight doesn't go to decision is give me my bet. Durden 8,600 on DK. I like it a lot. If he wins, probably first round sub. Iori 7,600. I like it a lot. If he wins, maybe a knockout, late finish, tons of volume. But yeah, a fight I'm very intrigued in watching. I think it's going to be an absolute banger. Both guys bring it, and this could possibly be like one of the best fights on the card. I know maybe it's not the best name value, but this fight's going to be a banger. I can almost guarantee that. But yeah, give me Iori for the win. But as far as a bet, I'll just take the fight doesn't go. Yeah, Durden looked off a little bit. Yeah, he did look a little off. I agree. Dog or pass. I've got like 7 dog picks. I think, yeah, this card is nuts. Comment saying, give me Iori plus 145. Yeah, I don't hate it. I mean, I don't know if I'll be jumping on with you there, but I'm tempted. I'm very tempted. I was on Durden without much thought, but man, Iori looked pretty massive with the wins. He's huge. He's absolutely huge. I have kuling plus 3.5 in points. Just need to win 1 round of the judges' scorecards and not get finished. It's a safe bet. If he does not get finished, I do think he wins one round. But the not getting finished part is kind of the tricky one. Could pull the off the upset. He could. Durden looked a little weird on the scale. Yeah, he's somebody that typically does not fight a ton at this weight class. I think like this is his second fight. I think it's like his second or third fight at this weight class. I think second. So yeah, I mean that could be a factor for sure. Maybe Durden is a little bit compromised, which only makes me like the fight doesn't go to decision even more because I think if Durden does win, it's going to be early. If he does not win, I see him slowing down, and Iori's not going to slow down, especially in this fight. Yeah, but Durden, I think it's the second fight at 125. He typically is fighting at like catchweights. I saw in like 135. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. I love Iori round 2 KO. Durden will gas after round 1. That's kind of how I'm seeing it as well. Didn't Durden post bet slips of him when he lost? F it. Give me Iori. I have no clue if he did. That's weird. He was switching a lot. I think he had a rough cut. He definitely could have. Iori late KO. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about, though. The early going is what I'm worried about and why I did not pull the trigger. Tough fight to predict. Got to pass. I feel like Durden could take down Iori like he did Chris Gutierrez. This is a smaller cage as well. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about, especially in round 1. I feel like Durden in round 1 sub is on the table. Garcia or Lutz GPP. Whew, tough one. I think I would take a shot on Lutz, but that's a tough one. I think I'd go Lutz, though. Jeff Molina is a future contender, and Iori was putting in work on him in the beginning. Give me Iori by KO or decision. Yeah, I went back and watched that fight. Iori actually won like the first 7 minutes, and then he got clipped at like the 7.5 minute mark of that fight. But yeah, Iori was looking good early. It's just Jeff Molina, he's a stud, and he puts on a pace a lot of people cannot keep up. He's the Chinese Tony Ferguson. Kinda. What? Paul, I cannot read that comment. That's weird. I'll give Cupcake a cream pie. What does that even mean? What do you mean by that? My gosh. Anyway, Iori didn't have to worry about takedowns against Molina, though. Kind of. I think Molina attempted like at least one takedown on him. Molina's round 3 output was insane. Yes, it was. How was Durden's striking defense? It's decent. Another reason why I'm going to pass here is Iori's striking defense is just non-existent. And again, Durden's striking was a lot better than I thought it was. So yeah, I think I'm fine with passing. But if I was forced to play a money line, it would be that dog and Iori. But we'll see what happens there. But yeah, fight doesn't go as my official play. All right, 4 fights left. We have Tyler Santos going against Joanne Calderwood. And I do have a bet here. It seems like everybody's on that Yanez Santos parlay, and I actually agree with it. But what I did do was I put 3 units on Tyler Santos minus 290, and she is now minus 355. And yeah, I think it's a great spot for her. I mean, you take a look at Joanne Calderwood. She's going to have, I give her the striking advantage, but it's going to be close. Like Calderwood's going to be landing more shots on the feet, but Santos is going to be landing the harder shots. But I don't even think that's how that fight's going to play out. I think Santos is going to get this fight down to the mat early and often. And I just want to take a look at some of these numbers in terms of the grappling. And we got to take into account that it's against lower competition like a Roxanne Modafferi, Molly McCann, fighters like that. But just taking a look at Tyler Santos' numbers, like those are unheard of, regardless of the level of competition. 2.6 takedowns on average with an 86% takedown accuracy. Like that's unheard of. And we see that Joanne Calderwood does have a 63% takedown defense. I think it's a pretty solid fight for Santos. I think if she comes in here with the game plan like she always does of, hey, I'm going to get this fight down to the mat and control my opponent, I think she wins this pretty convincingly. A lot of people are saying the line's off, and maybe now it's getting a little bit off, but I think the line, at least where I got, I thought it was definitely warranted. I thought she could have been even a bigger favorite, and now it is trending that way. But yeah, the only way Santos loses this fight if she comes out here and says, hey, for some reason, I don't feel like I want to wrestle today. I want to test my striking against Calderwood. That's how she loses. If she comes out here and fights how she usually does, like she's going to be able to get this fight down to the mat fairly easy. Calderwood has a 63% takedown defense, and Santos is going to have the strength advantage, and her wrestling is actually really good. Her control is really good. Striking is decent. But yeah, give me Santos here, and she's probably my most confident pick on the slate, and she is the second biggest dog on the slate as well. So you give me Santos, 3 units, minus 290. Not doing a parlay this week, but if you told me you're parlaying up Santos, I'd be happy with that. But she has a big advantage. But yeah, lots of people are probably going to be on the Calderwood side or the Wood side. And I get it. I mean, level of competition is definitely a thing we can mention. But just such a glaring path to victory for Santos here. Calderwood by decision. If you do like Calderwood, that's how I'd play it. Calderwood by decision or Wood by decision, whatever. Plus 500. I think I saw it on FanDuel, like plus 500 for Wood by decision. That's not terrible, especially if you like Calderwood. She's not going to finish Santos. But as long as Santos comes in here and wrestles, I really find it hard to see a path to victory for Wood. And And I don't think, Santos is going to come in here with that game plan. So yeah, give me Santos and pretty comfortably. Pretty comfortably. Let's see here. Santos all day. Am I the only one that likes Wood here? No, I see actually a decent amount of people on her. What's up with the name change? She married her coach, and it is now Wood. The grappling, it should be easy for Santos. Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty easy. No female fight is locked. Definitely not. Nothing is a lock. Wood for all the money. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's a pretty bad matchup. Not my most favorite card. Gonna wait for the next. I think the card is gonna deliver. Not sure why people are on Godinez. She hasn't looked that good. Yeah, she looked really bad in her last fight, but that was up a weight class on short notice. Santos is smart. She's gonna shoot for takedowns and control JoJo. Yeah, I think it's a pretty easy fight for her if she does fight smart, and she is smart, like you said. Santos should coast to an easy decision if she takes Wood down, which I think she will. Yeah, I think she will, no problem. Santos 3 wins here against fighters with terrible takedown defense. I admit Wood looked bad round 2 versus Murphy, but her fights are always close. These odds are way off. Yeah, I personally think the odds are about right, but kind of a hot take there. Thoughts on Santos on DK? I think he's very safe. Nice floor. I would think Santos wins this one. I do as well, unless Santos forgets how to wrestle. Remember to hedge out with Wood by decision because women's MMA is a shit show. Yeah, I mean, you could if you want. I'm not going to hedge out, though. Wood has a lot of experience. I wonder how the fight looks like if she stuffs the takedowns early. The problem is I just don't see that. But yeah, if she's able to stuff the takedowns or Santos decides not to wrestle, it could look very close. I'd give Cupcake my Wood. Interesting. Parlay boxing Crawford, Santos, Llanos, and McKenzie fight under 2.5. There you go. Do you see any action on the split decision prop for Santos Calderwood plus 300, or is that too low? I mean, I'm not going to touch that. Dislike the price for Santos. Yeah, Santos for the win. Santos shaves asses. Yeah, she has been. It's going to be a big step in competition, but I think she does shave Woods as well. Khamzat beat Hermanson in the wrestling match. Yes, he did. Her coach gave her Wood. Yes, he did. If you're on Wood, you're JoJo joking. I think it's more like either it's like a simp thing or like a level of competition thing. Those are the only 2 things I could think of, but probably level of competition because yeah, Joanne Calderwood has fought the much better competition. It's not even close. But yeah, give me Santos. I'm pretty comfortable with her there. Adrian Yanez going against Davey Grant. Yanez minus 310 now, and Grant is plus 260. I do have a bet on here as well. I have. Yeah, I noticed that as well. Wood did not sound very confident at all in her interview. She sounded a little weird. But I do have a bet here as well. I have Adrian Yanez minus 250, 2.5 units. So definitely beat some line movement there. Lots of money has came in on Yanez. I see a lot of people taking the dog shot on Davey Grant. And yeah, I mean, could he knock out Adrian Yanez? Of course he could. This is an MMA fight. Anything can happen. We saw Rodolfo Vieira get submitted, and we saw crazy things happen. So yes, it's definitely on the table. But Yanez, he's never been knocked out. Very good chin. He's going to have a massive striking advantage. Grant's striking's got a lot better, but still, I give the striking advantage to Yanez pretty comfortably. I guess the one thing I was looking into is how good is Yanez's takedown defense, and the answer to that is really good. In the UFC, he has like 100% takedown defense, but even like outside of the UFC, watch the Johns fight. He was able to stuff a lot of the takedowns. When he got taken down, he was able to pop right back up. Apparently, Yanez is a black belt in BJJ as well. We see that Davey Grant's been submitted 4 times. Yanez by sub plus 1,400 is interesting, right? Like Davey Grant, when he loses, it's by submission, and Yanez being a black belt, but I think Yanez actually knocks him out. I think he's going to be the first person to knock out Davey Grant. We've seen Davey Grant get dropped in multiple fights. I think he's been dropped like 3 or 4 times in the UFC. I think it's 5 here, and I think he does put out Davey Grant. So yeah, give me Yanez here, minus 250, 2.5 units. He's not minus 310, but yeah, I think Yanez does get it done and get it done pretty convincingly as well. But I do think we're going to see a lot of people on the Grant side because, yeah, Grant's been getting it done as a dog as of late. Grant's been getting it done as a dog as of late for sure. John Nez in the second. Yeah, I think it could be in any round. Yanez all day. I got Grant inside the distance. Yeah, he was able to knock out Martin Day. He was able to knock out Jonathan Martinez, and those surprised me. I mean, I did pick him against Day, but The Martinez one surprised me, but I'd be like really surprised if he did it to Giannis here. Giannis by third round KO. Not making the optimal lineup though. If he does not get like an early knockout, I don't think he will. This was the biggest noticeable size difference at the weigh-ins. Yeah, I thought that one and then Chiesa looked a lot bigger in terms of like the height. John, yeah, but John's is like a D1 wrestler. Davey Grant, I mean, he's not the best wrestler in the world, but yeah, he did hold Giannis against the cage for a lot of the fight. You're right. Giannis by KO. Giannis by third round KO. Giannis won't get careless like Martinez. Yeah, and I think, Giannis is a better striker than Martinez. Again, a lot more dangerous. Cheeto gave Grant a bad beating. Yes, he did. Shout out to Cheeto. He's the man. I grant Davey permission to cash in this dog spot. I mean, I don't want to say I'd be shocked, but I'd be surprised for sure. Bill saying the draw plus 8,000. How do you think it draw? Maybe a 10-8 round for one of them? I love Giannis, but Grant's as live as a dog as they come. Maybe. I mean, he's 35 years old. He's turning 36 in about a month. 35-year-old bantamweights, 36-year-old bantamweights don't typically work out. Jack putting the house on Davey Grant. Oh, my. Be careful. I would not put my house on a 35-year-old bantamweight, but he has surprised us before. Giannis is Masvidal's son. I do agree with that. But we do have 183 of you in here. If y'all can please smash the like button. Me, Wheezy, Narcocop will be going live tomorrow. Maybe we'll find a fourth by tomorrow. We had somebody cancel last minute. So maybe we'll find a fourth for tomorrow for best bet going at 1 hour prior to the prelims. The prelims start, I believe, at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. So we'll be going live at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. Come check us out for best bet. I'll also be going live tonight with Narcocop on his channel for Lambo Plays. I'm going to bring a lot of hot takes there. Should be a fun show. Me, Narco, Tajik, Bay, the GOAT will be on there at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. So check all that out. Lots of stuff going on there. All right. So next we have the co-main event. Sean Brady, Michael Chiesa. Sean Brady minus 160. Chiesa is plus 140. And yeah, this is the toughest fight on the card to call, for me at least. I know a lot of people are really confident on the undefeated fighter and Tom Brady, and I get it. He's never lost, so we don't really know like how, if he does lose, how's it going to look? We don't know. But yeah, this is a fight I've been flipping back and forth on all week. Initially, I was on Brady, then I was on Chiesa, then I was on Brady, then Chiesa, back and forth, right? It's a close fight. But in a close fight that I'm flipping back and forth on, why not take the plus 140 shot on the dog here? I mean, this fight is so tough to call because I like Brady a lot. He's one of my favorite fighters. He's definitely one of my favorite fighters. But you take a look at who he's beat. Court McGee, in a fight that, if you actually go back and watch that fight was like really close. I mean, he won the first round clearly, and then the second round it was close. I scored it for Brady, but McGee actually outlanded him 38-33. But Brady did take him down twice. I scored it for Sean Brady. And then in the third round, it was Court McGee all day, outlanding Brady by 10 strikes. So I did score it for Brady, but that was a lot closer than I remembered. And then he goes out there. He beats Ismail Nardiev. Very good win there. I'm actually kind of high on Nardiev. Sucks he's not in the UFC anymore, but good win. I believe I bet him there as well. I think he was either a dog or close to it. And then he beat Christian Aguilera. I think he was like a huge favorite in that, rightfully so. And then he beats Jake Matthews, which is probably his best win. But yeah, look at who he's facing, right? This is not only a step up in competition. This is him, skipping a couple steps. This is multiple steps up in competition against Chiesa, who just recently was a slight favorite against Vicente Luque, who's now ranked like number 5 in the division. Prior to that, he had a main event against Neil Magny, beating guys like Rafael dos Anjos, beating guys, not only beating, but submitting Benil Dariush, submitting Jim Miller, losing to guys like Kevin Lee, Anthony Pettis, guys like that. He's fought the who's who of the division, beating Francisco Trinaldo, losing to Jorge Masvidal, beating Ally Quinta back in the day as well. It's just a big, big step up in competition for Sean Brady. And there's just so many question marks on the Brady side. I watched the entire career of Brady. I wanted to see, what does he look like off his back? What's his takedown defense like? And his takedown defense on paper is 100%, but it's 100% because Court McGee tried to take him down 5 times and he was unsuccessful. So I want to see what his takedown defense looks like against somebody not named Court McGee. I want to see him off his back. I want to see what his ground game looks like when he is on his back. So yeah, there's a ton of question marks on the Brady side for me. if he wins this fight, like that's going to be very impressive to me because he's taken, again, multiple steps up in competition, going from Jake Matthews, Christian Aguilera to Michael Chiesa. So, yeah, it's a close fight. I think Brady very well could win. I think he very well could win. But I actually took the dog shot on Michael Chiesa here, plus 140, to answer all those question marks. Big step up in competition. Could Brady win? Yes, he could. But yeah, plus 140. I'm going to take the dog shot. And what I also did was I put a quarter unit on Sean Brady to win by submission, plus 400. Because I think if Sean Brady wins, it's by submission. Chiesa has been submitted in 4 of his 5 losses. Chiesa has never lost a decision. So yeah, if Brady wins by submission, I break even. If Chiesa wins outright, I'm up over a unit. So I kind of like how I played the fight there. I think if Brady does not win by submission, it's going to get very interesting and very greasy. So as far as a pick, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know who's going to win this fight. But at plus 140, I'd rather take that than the minus 160 on Brady. But I'm definitely going to be on an island, and we'll definitely see what happens. But I cannot wait for this fight. I hope Brady wins, kind of. I mean, although I bet on Chiesa, I hope Brady wins because I really do like this guy a lot. But if you guys know me, I don't bet fighters I like. I bet fighters who I think has value and think who wins. But I see the chat, Brady. I get it. I definitely get it. Let's go Philly. Brady all day. Chiesa at plus 140 is a must. It's a must for me. It's a like Uncle Weezy said, it's a show me fight. Show me that you are a top 10 fighter. Because I don't know. Could it be? Yes. But do I know that? No. Do you think Chiesa can get him down? I don't know. We'll see. I think he could, but we'll see. I'm on Brady. Brady's going to choke out Chiesa. I think if Brady does win, it's by submission. Chiesa has a ton of value. I agree. I think the line should be flipped. Brady trains with killers in Philly. He sure does. Chiesa 4 losses by sub. Any chance he gets finished by black belt Brady? Yeah, 100%. I think if Brady wins, it's by submission. Chiesa is going to try to use his size to outmuscle Brady. It isn't going to work, and he's going to get lit up or give up the neck. Yeah, it could happen. Sean Brady hasn't really fought anyone serious, 100%. This might be a random striking fight. I kind of disagree with that because you take a look at Chiesa's fights, and he's really never in random striking fights. I mean, the most times he's got hit by an opponent was against Mitch Clark, landed 65 significant strikes. Outside of that, I don't think a fighter has ever landed over 30 significant strikes on Chiesa. So Mitch Clark landed 65, but I don't see a fighter that landed 30 on Chiesa, which is very interesting. Close fight edging Brady. That's a close fight for sure. What's up, Brady? Chiesa getting choked out 4 times, swayed me. I don't disagree with that. Brady will win because of Chiesa's lack of striking defense. I don't think the striking is going to be a big part of this fight. And offense, he will get him out of there early. Brady is too strong. Waters, wet, fire burn, Rothwell early stoppage, and Brady subs Chiesa. Brady can definitely win a decision. Potentially, I'm more so thinking sub. Like, Chiesa's never lost a decision. Brady by 3rd round sub. If Brady gets on top at any point, he will finish Mike. Plus 160, Chiesa by sub or decision. Brady going to show the MMA world he is top 5. He could be, but we just don't know. We'll find out. Thoughts on Tucker Lutz? I do have a bet on him. I'm going with Sean Brady to win, but I can't bet it, especially at this line. Yeah, the line is nuts in my opinion, but he very well could win. Fighters that split their focus tend to lose. Chiesa isn't a threat on the feet. Yeah, I don't think he is. But like I said, I don't think the striking is going to matter much because it never matters in a Chiesa fight. It's always the grappling. So we'll see who wins. Cannot wait for it. Let's go. That fight's going to be so good. But we'll move on to the main event. Not going to spend a ton on this fight. We're getting close to the 1 hour mark here, but I will say it's a pretty simple fight to break down. Ketlen Vieira is going to have early advantage. I think she really is the better fighter. But the problem is she's the better fighter for a good 12 and a half minutes. But she does slow down as the fight goes on. And this isn't like 3-round fight. She's slowing down in the Yana fight. She's slowing down on the Eubanks fight. So yeah, I do expect her to have success early. It's just what happens when this gets to the 3rd round, the 4th round, the 5th round. At that point, I think Miesha Tate takes over and gets a finish. So I'm going to take Miesha Tate rounds 3, 4, or 5. I think she can win in either one of those rounds. And I sprinkled the 3, 4, and 5. So if one of these hit, it's going to be a great night. Quarter unit on Miesha Tate wins in round 3, plus 2,600. Quarter unit on Miesha Tate wins in round 4, 2,800. And then quarter unit on Miesha Tate wins in round 5 plus 3,500. Please let one of those hit. I'll be very happy. So give me Miesha Tate with a late finish there. What's your DFS parlay? I do not have any parlays this week. The hardcore MMA fan is battling with my casual side. Case has seen it all, but man, Brady's the real deal. Yeah, it's tough. I agree, it's tough. The striking matter in the Luque fight, he got submitted. Miesha by 4th round KO. I like it. I'll be very happy with the Miesha late finish. Tate seems improved in her mental game, which is huge. It looks like she improved her striking as well. Uncle Weezy, Vieira looked good on the skills. Maybe she's made some improvements in her conditioning. I think she's going to need to here, definitely. But yeah, she looked good. She looked good. Did you hear James Krause's take on the fight? No, I have not. He heard Tate hasn't been seen in the gym much preparing for this fight. That's weird. That's very weird. So if that's the case, yeah, it's not good. But we'll see what happens there. But yeah, guys, had a lot to say on this card. I think this card's great. I think this card's underrated. The main event kind of sucks, but as long as Miesha Tate wins in rounds 3, 4, or 5, I'll be very happy. I'll quickly go through my bets. You can follow me on Twitter, DFS_numbers, Instagram, DFS by the numbers. I have actually not added a bet since Tuesday, so got all my action in like very early, and I don't see myself adding another bet. If anything, like the one bet I would add, if anything, would be Iori Kuling, but I'm just going to pass on that one, I think. So my straight bets, Michael Chiesa, 1 unit plus 140. Tyler Santos, 3 units minus 290. Adrian Yanez, 2.5 units minus 250. Tucker Lutz, 1 unit plus 136. Loopy Godinez, 1 unit minus 150. Charly, Durden Beke, plus 245, half a unit. Ronnie Yaya, Kung Ho Kong, over 2.5 rounds, 1.5 units minus 146. McKenzie, Zion, under 2.5 rounds, minus 135, 1.5 units. Charly, Durden Beke, Soriano, under 2.5 rounds, 1 unit plus 110. Miesha Tate wins in rounds 3, 4, and 5. Quarter unit on all 3 of those. Round 3, 2,600. Round 4, 2,800. Round 5, 3,500. Cody Durden, Iori Kuling, fight doesn't go to decision, plus 150, half a unit. And then Sean Brady wins by submission, quarter unit, plus 400. And then Sam Hughes, Luana Panera, fight doesn't go to decision, half a unit, plus 100. See, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, like 16 bets this week. So yeah, looking to bounce back from last week. Did not have a ton of, I think I had like 4 bets last week, but complete opposite this week, going all out for the most part. So let's get it, guys. Let's win some money. We'll read some comments here on the way out. Do want to shout out the sponsor again, Pub Sports Radio. Go check them out. Shout out to those guys over there. I'm over there 4 or 5 times a week. Cupcake by Cream Pie. As long as that cream pie is in the 3rd, 4th, or 5th round, I'll be very happy. Does Tate have an advantage on the ground? I'd say no, at least early. Durden turned down on the handshake at lands. I saw that. Makes me like the fight doesn't go even more. Who craps the bed? If I had to pick one, it probably would be Panera, like minus 400, or Sean Soriano. Kraus heard it from a pretty credible source. Yeah, that's not something good to hear, especially if you are on Tate. See what else we got here. Hey, on that juice. What is up? Great show, Brady. Best of luck, everyone. Thank you, 2 cents. Charly by Chinese Torture. There you go. See you guys. We'll see you later. Leave a like on your way out. Yana Santos parlay. It looks like a lot of people are on that. I agree with it. I did play them both straight. Good luck to you, Uncle Weezy. See you guys. Leave a like, subscribe. Almost to 13K. It would be awesome to get there before the break. And good luck for UFC Vegas 43. Betting breakdown video will be out tomorrow morning, early in the morning, like 6:30. And then, again, we'll be going live 1 hour prior to the prelims. Make sure you are subscribed so not miss out on that. And good luck for UFC Vegas 43. Let us make